This is Randy from Pete's RV Center. Another quick tip segment for you today. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what you need to do to get your camper ready for winter. So let's go up on the roof. All right, so one of the most important things that you need to protect your camper with before you put it to bed for the winter is you want to get up on the roof and check your seals. So the rubber roof has one of the longest warranties in the RV industry, so the rubber is really, really good stuff. But everywhere there's a penetration, i.e. a vent, a roof vent, a plumbing vent, our antenna, where the front and the back meet, there is some sealant, and we want to make sure that that sealant is good and been touched and any cracks been taken care of before we put it to bed for the winter. All right, so another important thing to check, and this often goes overlooked, is everywhere we have caulking on the outside of the unit, whether it be a compartment door or a transition molding or a front cap on this particular fifth wheel, anywhere there's caulking, we want to inspect that caulking. That caulking is typically the first line of defense to keep water out. Typically there's another line underneath it, but we want to make sure before we put it to bed for the winter that we've given everything a look to make sure that we've given you the best caulking job that we can have before it goes through a northeast winter, especially up here in Vermont. So again, check all the seals throughout the sidewall of the coach. So if you live somewhere where it gets cold, you definitely want to do your plumbing system. So make sure that you displace all the water in your plumbing system with non-toxic antifreeze. Don't forget your water heater. That's probably the most important because that's the most expensive one to fix if there is a problem. But make sure that you winterize your coach appropriately. And if you're not 100% sure, have it done by a professional. All right, so one of the things we typically don't think about when we're not towing our camper is our tires. But a lot of damage can happen to tires as they sit around, especially through the winter months. So unlike we have here, I would like to see these tires up off the ground, maybe on a piece of wood or on a paved surface. I don't like them in direct contact with a more soil or a moist ground, i.e. your lawn. The other thing that I recommend is covering the tires. If we can take the tires out of the sunlight, that is going to prolong the life of the tires. Tires have a bunch of waxes, oils, and polymers in them, and even in the winter months, those waxes, oils, and polymers can be dried out by the sun, so make sure we cover our tires. All right, so in our homes, we have ridge vents, and ridge vents really allow a lot of moisture to escape that collects as we are living in the house. Our campers, unfortunately, do not have that, so lots of moisture can be contained in your RV from eating, sleeping, showering, cooking, and just breathing in the RV. So we want to allow that moisture to escape so we don't have mildew when we come back in the springtime. One of the ways we can do that is you put a roof vent over your vent cover. That way you can leave your vent open a little bit without getting the elements in. I also recommend if you've got windows that crank out from the bottom, leave one of those open a crack, and that'll give us a positive airflow through the camper, again, to get rid of that moisture so we don't have mildew in the spring. So before you put your camper to bed for the winter, after everything has been done, the winterization, you've got the tires taken care of, you've been up on the roof and done all that, let's take our battery off. Remove the battery. There are some parasitic draws in your camper that will actually kill that battery in a short amount of time. If the battery sits around at a low state of charge, it could possibly freeze and crack, and it'll definitely need to be replaced the following year. So let's bring our battery inside and check out my battery video to properly maintain it through the winter months. All right, so one of the other things you can do to help protect your camper through the winter months, especially up here in the Northeast, is to put an RV cover on it. Now, RV covers aren't cheap, but they are cheap insurance in case if something were to happen, it will be a lot more expensive. So what typically happens is if something goes awry in the winter months, we don't identify it early because we're not in and out of our coach actively. So if we can put a cover on it, it will put it in a time capsule until spring. And that way, if there is an issue, it will be an issue when we're actively using the coach, not while we're not using the coach through the winter months. So if you can swing the cost of a cover, strongly recommended. So hopefully these few tips will help you put your camper away and prepare it for the rigors of the winter, especially up here in the Northeast. That way you'll be starting out with a great camper in the spring. So we surely do appreciate you watching Pete's RV TV with Randy today. We look forward to seeing you on the road, and happy camping.